Rita and I have known each other nearly since birth. We began dating when I was a junior in high school and she was a sophomore. Like so many youthful romances, we came together with a bang, with intensity and heat that left us breathless. When we were apart, the longing was palpable, and when we were together, we couldn't keep our hands off one another. We were married September the 8th, 1957, over 50 years ago now, and after 2 children, 7 grandchildren, and 13 great-grandchildren, we can count our marriage as successful in many ways. Age and wisdom has brought about a banking of the fire and intensity, but the love and attraction is still there. We still hold hands when we walk, although we walk a lot slower. I have a second lover that I've known nearly since birth. I often share her delights with Rita, and she's quite okay with it. I use the female pronoun in describing her, even though she's of indeterminate gender. We also came together in a highly passionate way. I love to caress her dark brown skin as she melts to my touch, while my tongue erotically tastes of her special treats. My affection for this enchanting lover has not waned with age. In fact, the physical need for her has intensified throughout the years. Yes, I've had a lifelong love affair with, dare I name her, chocolate. I love chocolate in nearly any form. Liquid, solid, as a cake or cookies, as candy bars, as pudding, as ice cream, and even in mole sauce on chicken mole. I can still remember the day, probably 63 or 64 years ago, when, while visiting Uncle Harry and Aunt Bernice at Christmas time, I tasted M&Ms for the first time. There was that explosion of chocolate flavor in my mouth, so intense that I screamed with delight. When I was in grade school, I regularly stole coins from my parents' piggy bank to buy candy on the way to school. At that time, my favorite candy bars were Mellow Cups and Valamilk Cups. They both had creamy marshmallow centers, which enhanced the chocolate flavor. I couldn't get enough of them. Later, I discovered Reese Cups, with their marriage of peanut butter and chocolate. Whoever invented them should receive the Nobel Prize. My mother introduced me to bittersweet chocolate one day, and I was off and running on a bittersweet addiction. Hershey's Special Bar is one of my current bittersweet pleasures. Several years ago, Hershey's came out with what I believe to be the perfect candy bar called Cookies and Mint. It consists of dark mint chocolate embedded with crushed mint Oreo cookies. I loved this candy bar so much that I became ashamed at the compulsive relationship I had with it. I would often sneak around and hide my stash of cookies and mint from Rita, so I wouldn't have to share. Don't tell her. She doesn't know about this. Alas, Hershey's, in their infinite wisdom, has discontinued the cookies and mint bar. I miss it. I grieve its loss. I yearn for its rich, minty flavor and its crunchy delectability. When we visited the Hershey factory in Hershey, Pennsylvania, I registered a complaint with them about its demise, but to no avail. They thought it wasn't profitable enough. If I had known that, I would have bought more of them. After all these years, I don't let a day go by without at least a little bit of chocolate. We buy the fun-size York Mints, Reese Cups, chocolate-covered peanuts, and all sorts of other chocolate goodies to pander to our addiction. It's a happy day when I can spend it with both Rita and chocolate.